Get ready to witness some cops getting completely owned by regular citizens. Let's jump right in. The following encounter is the very definition of cops getting owned by citizens. And this particular citizen immediately asked the cop who stopped him if he ever heard of the Fourth Amendment. The cop didn't want to answer that and instead started talking nonsense, which is why the man had to read it for him. The cop didn't want to listen to any of that and kept interrupting the man with some more nonsense. Then he started talking about protecting the environment, totally missing the whole point.
I'll ask you a question. Have you ever heard of the Fourth Amendment?
Have you?
Can you recite that to me?
Hi, how you doing?
Good, I'm doing good.
Picture, don't put it on eBay. I don't want to see it on YouTube.
Well, then maybe you better let us go.
I will sue you.
No, you won't, because you're a public servant. We have every right to film you, sir.
Anyway.
Okay, let me read you the Bill of Rights. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons to be seized.
Are you bringing in any?
Now, here's something that's interesting. The Supreme Court has recognized our freedom of movement.
Do you guys have any firewood?
Did you swear an oath to the Constitution?
Yes. Do you have any firewood?
So, are you listening to
The man had enough of that, and so he rolled up his window. Then he asked the cop if he was being detained. The cop said that he wasn't, and the man just drove away. My hero. A man was just recording some school buses when Officer Rodriguez came up to him and told him that he wasn't allowed to record from that place as it was private property owned by the school board. He also urged him to move away from there even though the man told him that he was standing on the public roadway. It should be noted that Officer Rodriguez had a rather aggressive tone the whole time, and he repeated quite a few times how that wasn't a debate. But when asked to call a supervisor, he just straight up refused. It seems like we have a classic example of a cop on a power trip.
Hi, can I help you? Can I help you?
No.
You can record from over there.
Excuse me?
You can record from over there. It's private property.
The school board?
Yeah,
It's private property.
that's correct.
Who owns it?
The school board.
Okay.
So you want to record? You're welcome to do it across the street.
Officer Rodriguez, do you have a supervisor?
No.
When security guards came, the guy told him how the cop tried to tell him that the public roadway was private property. The cop had nothing to say to that anymore, and he just stood there with no idea what to do about this educated citizen. He definitely looked as though his ego was hurting. When security asked the man who he is, he said that he's just an independent journalist gathering content and filming school buses for the story that he was working on. The security guard seemed satisfied with that answer, and the man added that he's been doing that all across the country. The cop wanted to know the reason why he's doing that, to which the man replied that he doesn't answer questions. He also called out the cop on his inappropriate behavior, but the cop just said that he's got a job to do. If his job was harassing citizens for exercising their constitutional rights, I must admit, he's pretty great at it.
This gentleman's trying to tell me that the public right-of-way is private property. Do they not teach that in school anymore, public right-of-way?
Well, you got your law degree from TV?
Yeah, I'm allowed. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yep.
So what's your business here?
You're dismissed. Thank you.
Hey, sir.
SB emergency. SO school resource center.
676.
You gotta eat.
He's inside with the field.
You got a deputy over there?
Anyways, the cop then asked the man about his credentials, and the man just didn't know what to say to that. In the end, he told him that he was going to give him his credentials as soon as he told him who issues credentials.
Absolutely. And you've been very professional.
All we're doing.
And you've been very professional. This guy over here is just kind of steamroll me.
We're
So-
not.
That is what it is. You good with him?
Just for me, just stand like 5 more feet back, just so we don't have anybody come in contact with you. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
That's
I
all.
mean, I'll stay out of the way.
Just like getting 5
Yeah.
feet
It
off
wasn't
the
either way.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find out why is he here, because this is not normally what you see.
The only rean I know I've seen it.
There you go.
Seen,
That's the reason
I
why.
understand it a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
He's good. I'm good. Whatever.
Thank you guys. Have a great day. God bless you.
The man then reminded the cop that the last time journalists were issued credentials was 1662 in England. But the cop just told him that he wasn't willing to go into that. The man wasn't surprised with that answer, and quite frankly, neither are we. Then the security guard intervened and explained everything while being very respectful, and the man respected that and told him that he had no problem with what he was saying. The cop obviously tried to make excuses about his behavior, and then he finally left the man alone. The man shook hands with the security guard and wished him a great day. A man was just filming when a cop stopped him and asked him what he was doing. The man was pretty cooperative and explained to the cop that he was just an independent journalist filming dusk over the prison and gathering content for the story. The cop asked for his ID and mentioned something about crossing the guard lines, but the man, obviously being very knowledgeable, schooled the cop and explained that the guard lines just mean that people can't bring any weapons.
Doing something at the prison, or
Excuse me?
y'all out here doing something at the prison?
We're journalists. We were just taking video of the dusk over the prison.
Y'all got ID on you or anything?
No, do we need it?
Yes, sir. This is considered crossing the guard lines. This is the property of the prison. All this is those signs that you pass called crossing the guard line.
It doesn't say don't cross the guard line. It actually says guard line. In the state of Georgia, the guard line only means that you're not allowed to bring weapons, that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean that you can't park.
The cop then proceeded with some explaining of his own, or should we say, copsplaining. The man, still being very respectful despite being bothered by this cop for no reason at all, said that he checked property maps and found out that it was actually a public road or an easement. The cop proceeded with his copsplaining and then out of the blue asked the man for his driver's license. The man, who was obviously very surprised by that, asked him for what crime, to which the cop replied that he didn't commit any crime. The man also told him that he left his driver's license in his car and there wasn't a need for him to identify himself because, say it with me, he didn't break any law.
That's a bait wallet. It's for criminals only.
Okay. Who's driving the vehicle?
I am.
Okay. So do you have a driver's license?
In my vehicle, but again, unless I've broken the law, I'm
No, I
not.
didn't say you're breaking any law other than being up here.
Yeah, I was just in Ware County Jail. I parked in the parking lot behind the guard line. There was no need for ID. No. I do it all over the state.
Yeah. No, actually, I ain't trying to cause you no problems. But
Well, no. And like I said, before I even came out here, I checked the property maps. This is a public road. This is a public right-of-way. It goes all the way up here to where they see that sign. That's why that sign's there that says warning, stop before you proceed. Because technically, legally, that's their property where that starts. This right here is a public road. This right here where I'm on is a public called right-of-way. And traditionally, in North America, a 2-lane road has a 60-foot row, which means 15 feet from the center line to over here is public right-of-way. The same thing on the other side, which is why you see drainage and why you see that fire hydrant down here. This is where the city and the county puts all their public easements.
I mean, I don't understand that.
He was also more than willing to repeat everything that he had said about property maps and public easement to this clearly confused cop. The cop then tried to act all smart by saying that he's all about people's rights, but at the same time, people are trying to push the limits. The man understood what he was saying, but he still reminded the cop that he wasn't breaking any law by being there and filming stuff. He also said that the cop had every right to ask for his ID, but at the same time, he wasn't legally required to give it to him. After the man explained who he was and what he was doing, the cop finally stopped harassing him and let him go about his business.
People's rights and all this stuff, I mean, trust me. I mean, I'm all about people's rights, but at the same time, you know, people seem to try to push limits that they shouldn't push for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Here, a cop was harassing a man while being pretty intense about it, and yet he was the one who told the man to relax. The man then explained what he was doing, to which the cop replied that it's his job to stop citizens and inform them about the regulations of federal land.
Are you going to stop that person? You said you stop everyone.
We're not. I just need you to take a deep breath.
All right, man, dude. You take a deep breath and you relax.
I am relaxed.
He also told him that residing and camping is illegal, and the man just asked him how long he can be parked there. The cop accused him of parking overnight, even though that wasn't the truth. The man was furious and told the cop that they were going to argue it in court in front of a judge.
I wasn't camping.
I tried to explain that.
I wasn't camping. I'm explaining it to you.
Your name and information.
I'm not giving you my ID.
Okay.
I haven't done anything
Is this
wrong.
your vehicle?
I'm not answering any questions.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to give you a ticket.
Okay, I'm not answering any questions.
All right.
The cop also asked for this man's driver's license, but he refused to give it to him because, say it with me, he didn't break any law. He told the cop that he wasn't sleeping in his car, nor was he camping. Instead, he was just parked there. But the cop didn't care about the truth and kept harassing the man. The cop proceeded to give him a ticket while the man refused to answer any more questions. Instead, he asked the cop about his name and badge number. He also asked him how long he was parked there, and the cop didn't know the answer to that question, so the man called him out on that.
What I wanted to do is inform you of what's called...
Dude, you're harassing me.
Urban front country, okay?
Name and badge number.
My name is Officer Christopher Dent. My badge is 2459.
And how long have I been parked here?
United States Forest Service.
How long have I been parked here?
I don't know how long you've been parked here.
So you just admitted you don't know how long I've been parked here.
That indicates this road, and there's about 4 signs at the trailhead.
Okay, I wasn't at the trailhead. I let my dogs roam this way. I jumped into the back just to rest, and I was not camping.
The man just told the cop to write him a ticket and that they would see each other in court. The cop didn't want to give up, so he asked the man for his ID, and the man refused to give it to him once again. Then they kept arguing about how long the man was parked there. The cop was accusing the man of sleeping in there and being in his car since the previous night, even though there was no way he could have known that since the windows were covered up. It seems like the cop wasn't interested in the truth and he only cared about being right. Unfortunately for him, he chose the wrong guy to harass.
So I've been doing this for a while.
Are you going to do the same thing?
Like I said, sir. This
Or are
is
you just harassing me?
just an education content.
Well then, I haven't been camping, so you don't got to educate me.
Do you need some resources for housing?
No, I don't need anything from the government.
I have some.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
In the end, the man explained everything to the cop once again, and this time the cop thought that he was the one who could educate the man by telling him about available resources. The man told the cop that he didn't want any help from the cop who was harassing him just moments ago. You can just tell that he couldn't wait for the cop to leave him alone.
Okay. They're located in Summit County, and there's like.
I have 2 jobs, dude. I don't need any resources.
That's one of the requirements.
Okay.
Is if you work here in Summit County, you can.
I have 2 jobs in Summit County.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you can legally sleep in your car at certain spots in the county.
I can. It's my constitutional right to travel and be in my car.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a man just minding his own business, filming a police station, when a cop asked him what he was doing and why. When the man responded that he was doing a story, the cop got out of his car and approached the man. He wanted to know the details, but the man didn't want to share any. The cop started asking a whole bunch of questions and even asked for this man's ID because he wanted to get to know him. The man didn't want to give him that nor say his name. The cop tried to be all chatty and nice, but the man wasn't falling for that and told the cop that he didn't want to answer any of his questions.
The station?
What kind of story? I like stories.
I can't say nothing because it's not published yet.
Huh?
I can't say nothing because it's not published yet.
Oh. Is it for like a magazine or movies or what?
I don't know yet. Depends on who picks it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was trying to get somebody like driving in and out without stopping.
Who's your friend?
Just a friend of mine.
Part of the movies too? He doesn't talk or what?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure if he
He
talks?
talks to me.
Do you know him?
Huh?
Do you know him?
I'm not gonna answer no questions.
Oh, all right. Do you have any ID?
For what?
Just get to know you.
Oh, can I see your ID?
Yeah, it's Officer Stringer.
No, not.
Badge is right here.
No, your ID, where you live.
Where I live?
Yeah.
Why do you want to know where I live?
Why would you want to know where I live?
I didn't ask where you live. I asked what your name was.
Oh, I don't think I have to give that up.
No, you don't. I'm just wondering if you wanted to or not.
Oh no.
Because most people are usually pretty friendly with us, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my name's Joe. Hey, I'm David."
I don't give my name out to just strangers.
I'm
Anybody.
not a stranger.
Oh yes, Joe. I don't know you.
I'm Officer Stringer.
Yeah, but I don't know your background. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going around. I mean,
It's not because you're on probation or anything, right?
I don't answer questions.
Well, if you're on probation, you have to.
I don't answer questions.
All right. You understand?
I thought it was a friendly.
He also told the cop that he was dismissed, but that didn't sit well with this cop, which is why the man had to give him some free lessons in law. He told him that he shouldn't have asked him for his ID nor stop him because he was exercising his First Amendment protected activity.
See how it turns into you're trying to get me for something? You're dismissed. You can go now. We're done with it. You're dismissed. Thank you.
All I asked you was what's your name?
You're dismissed. Thank you. You guys always got to be rude and intrusive. This is a First Amendment.
Asking someone what your name is rude?
For my ID, sir? Who are you that I would have to give you my ID? And why would I want you? with all this stuff, all the police killing civilians, why would I want to give you my name so you can retaliate? No, thank you.
Listen.
No, I don't have to listen. Thank you. You have a good day. No, you're dismissed. Both of you guys.
You're dismissed.
No, you're dismissed. You work for us. I don't work for you.
I work for you?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
You're a public servant, right?
I do. I work for everyone here.
That's right. We pay taxes, so you work for us.
I don't follow orders from you.
Yeah, well, we don't follow orders from you, sir.
In this case, I'm not ordering you to do anything.
Well, it's just, why would you ask me for ID? It's just,
simple question.
it's just rude. It's just rude. It's just rude. It's just rude, man.
I didn't say you had to.
And why did you ask me if you're on probation? Your whole point of stopping. Listen, your whole point of stopping. Exactly. Your whole point of stopping everybody is to see what you could put them in jail for. You know what? You're dismissed because you're not going to put us in jail because you don't have no right to even ask me for ID. As far as legally, you shouldn't even be stopping and bothering me when I'm doing a First Amendment protected activity. You can go, sir. Thank you. We would like to be left alone, sir. Respect our wishes. Thank you, sir. You have a good day. Well, you're not paid to stand around, sir.
My boss says I can stand here as long as I'm...
How much you make a year, sir? Are you saying that to your residents in this city, that you're allowed to just stand here and bother people that are conducting a total lawful activity?
You're fine to stand there as long as you want to.
No. I asked you a question. Are you telling me that you're going to waste taxpayers' money by standing there, harassing and bothering people that are doing nothing illegal? Just answer that question.
Harassing you about
trying to find out my information. I don't know you. I don't know you if you're a corrupt police officer or not. Why would I give you my name?
Hey.
The other cop then thought he could intervene and said that his colleague only asked him for his ID, and the man just proceeded to ask him what their reasonable suspicion was. But the cop obviously didn't have an answer to that. After asking for both their names and badge numbers, the man went on to teach them how to do their job.
No, let me see your ID where you live.
Why would I do that?
Exactly. Why would I do that with you? We're both men, right? We're both men, right?
We're not requiring you to do it.
You didn't. Yeah, but you didn't ask in the way that he said it, and then he moved on to probation.
You have your ID on you. Are you on probation?
Why?
Because
What is your reasonable, articulate suspicion for asking that?
you don't need to. You're in a public place. We're just talking with you. We're not requiring you.
You're bothering us. I've already said a couple of times if you guys can leave us alone so we can continue with our project, and you won't leave us alone. Now you're harassing us. We're asking you. Here's a double standard, guys.
There's not.
I can stand here. You can stand here. There's no
You're
problem.
getting paid, sir, not to stand here. You're getting paid. Are all the crimes solved around here that you can just stand here and not do nothing? It's a shame. It's shameful that you're getting paid so much money and you're gonna try to sit there and do a contest with somebody that's not doing nothing illegal. Excuse me, and you're willing to waste taxpayers' money and just stand there with your arms crossed and serve who? You're not serving anybody right now, sir.
What I did was try and get to know who you are. I just wanted.
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking to you and I'm gonna call you out of your. And you please leave us alone. What's your name, badge number, sir?
Officer Stratton.
What's your badge number? 37461. What's your name, badge number, please?
Officer Stringer, 113.
Can you please leave us alone now?
I've never kept you from doing anything. You're more than welcome to do whatever you like.
Okay, but we don't want to be interrogated, sir.
We're not interrogating you.
Because you can't, because we're not doing nothing illegal, and that's why. That's the only thing holding you. You realize that the law is the only thing holding you back from you imposing your will right now? Because you know we're not doing nothing illegal, so why would you pry into my privacy and ask me if I'm not doing nothing illegal? He asked me if I'm on parole. That's an insult. Why would he assume that I'm on parole? Why?
Because we ask everybody.
Why?
Why not?
Why?
You know who we're talking to. It's for our safety.
Your safety?
from a law standpoint,
You shouldn't be a cop if you're that much of a scaredy cat, sir.
No one said I'm scared.
The man just wanted to be left alone, and then finally one of the cops said that they weren't detaining him and that he was free to go. The man, obviously very happy that the cops finally stopped harassing him, wished them a good day.
Jeez, is that so hard?
Have a good day, guys.
Was that so hard, sir? Oh, it's Sergeant. Set him straight. Thank you, Sergeant.